All right, let's go ahead and do a 5-minute Foundry episode here. This is part of my D&D prep workflow series, and this is a new series that I'm doing because I have a bad memory and I need to have something that kind of guides myself through what I've done previously. Just to give you a heads up though, because a lot of the designers, the macro designers and the extension designers are building their industries based upon D&D Beyond and the Foundry. And the Foundry is in its infancy, and D&D Beyond is currently going through some upheavals and changes. Because of that, these small businesses have to pivot really quickly when one of those bigger industries change something about their code in the background. So just letting you know that some of these instructions might get outdated very quickly, but hopefully not. I try to keep them as open as possible. So this video is going to be focused on importing a creature, not a PC, into the Foundry. Not a PC because importing an actual character or a player is a slightly different process than imported an NPC or a monster. The assumptions that I'm going to have here are that Foundry is already installed for you and working, that the VTTA D&D Beyond Chrome extensions installed and working. You have that configured the way you want it configured. And finally, the creature that you want to import is already created in D&D Beyond, or it already exists in D&D Beyond, one or the other. Today, I'm going to be importing a homebrew creature I created. So the first step is to log into D&D Beyond in your game in Foundry. And you can see right here, I'm logged into my game and I'm logged into D&D Beyond. And then the next step is to click on the VTT assets, Chrome extension, and select connect to Foundry. This is actually a new process right here. And as such, it's easy to forget. Sebastian, who's the designer of this Chrome extension, has already said that it's just a reality. You can't get around it. So that's just going to have to be the reality that we deal with. And this is something that you'll have to do every single time that you load your game. Go up here, connect to Foundry, there you have it. One thing that I did notice actually as I was making this video is I tried to do that while on the D&D Beyond page right here, and it had the same connect to Foundry button, but when I clicked it, nothing happened. So you have to, I think, do that from the actual game page, your Foundry page. The next thing we're going to do is find the creature that we want to import into on D&D Beyond. We want to import that into Foundry, and we're going to find it on D&D Beyond. Now, in this scene right here, this is for a published campaign from 3rd edition that I'm converting to 5th. There is going to be a young adult red dragon. And this young adult red dragon, because everything in this silly campaign is specialized and very special monsters all throughout, I had to homebrew that. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go ahead and go to my collections, my homebrew creations, and find that monster who is named Gotrod. The green is telling us we're connected to Foundry Virtual Tabletop. This yellow button here, which is not a button, I mean, it is a button, but this yellow button tells us that it's not in our compendium right now. And green says that the spells that you see here are already embedded in our campaign world. That's because they're system resource document spells. And finally, you have this option to import it into your Foundry game. And that's the one I'm going to use, actually. I want to import it in. I'm supposing that had I clicked Compendium, it'd do something similar, but I haven't done that. I don't want to try it on a video. So here I go. Import into Foundry VTT. And once it updates, which takes a little bit, you can see that now it is in my compendium. It's we're still linked. The spells are there. And if you made any changes, you could update it again. Okay. So that is completely done. If I go over to my campaign here and I go to the actors directory and click on monsters, you will see now that I have Gotrod in my dragons area. Now, after that, that's actually the kind of the biggest strength, I think, of the VTT Assets Chrome extension. It's just to pull a creature that you've homebrewed in very quickly, or to pull a regular creature in very quickly. It's just very nice to do. Now, I like personally to have avatars and artwork that's appropriate to the creature, and tokens that are appropriate to the creature. So if the creature is from a published adventure and it has an actual image, just use the image as the character artwork or the avatar. Uh, because I'm not selling this product and because I'm just gaming with it, it would be as if I'm holding up that image at the table and saying, you see this. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. So there's not really a copyright issue in this case. So I'll go ahead and showcase how I'm going to do that in this with this specific monster. Now you can see I'm using the Shackled City here. I'm going to go ahead and do a snip of this. That's Gotarod right there. And I'll go ahead and save that image. And once I've done all that, which only takes a few moments, I click on the creature name in the actor area to bring up the character sheet and then click on the image to replace it. So here I go, clicking on the name here, click on the image. And I'm going to go ahead. And by the way, if you don't use Tokenizer, you don't have this type of screen, but you have the left side of the screen. That's perfectly fine. And I'm just going to upload an image here from my computer. And done. And if I really want to make a token out of this, I would, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. And you can see the image has changed. What's nice about that is that if you want to, you can right click and you could view character artwork and you could show that to the players in game. That's kind of a nice thing to do. And I just think that's kind of neat. So I'm going to close that out. Now, for the token, you can hunt around and find suitable tokens, or you could use, like I said, the tokenizer. I just hunt around for suitable tokens online. I actually buy them because I like to support artists in the community. And so I have bought, I don't know how many, probably a couple $100 worth of digital tokens because I really like to support people who are trying to make a living on this. So going back to the Foundry screen, I'm just going to click on Gotrod himself, and then I'll click on Prototype Token. That way I know whenever I drag him to the tabletop, it will be the same token over and over again. So let me go ahead and change his image here, and I'll select the dragon right there. By the way, if you don't know, you can go this way too and view images, but you won't be able to view WebM images, which are animated tokens. I'll select that. And I know this is 2 by 2. And you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to give him some vision. Red dragons have a dark vision of 120 feet. So 120. And I'm not 100% sure, to be very honest with you, kind of useless, that I'm doing this video and don't know whether assign token or update. I think it's assign token. I think I just click on assign a token and then we're good. I'll click update at the end just because I want to. And then when I close this, and actually something I should probably do differently on that. Let me go ahead and click on this and I'll go to back to the prototype token there. I'm going to change a few things about this in the background because I just thought about this. We've already sized it and everything, but the vision, you have to turn on that creature's vision. So there we go. It now has vision and that's it. So I will assign an update because I don't know which one does what. And I'll close this out. Now we can drag our cute little guy to the board, click on him, and you can see there he is. He's got his little vision going on and all that fun stuff. So that's how you use that. I know it's a longer video for this, but it's a step-by-step, right? So there you go.